Really loud again today. There we go. There we go. Welcome, roomies and zoomies. Zoomies, you can't see, but we have this very long room, the windows on this side, and we got our sunshine people, and we have our shade people on the other side. And some of us we have our mats set up different ways. The reason for the long side of the mat to the screen or to the front is just so you can turn your head without having to crane your neck, but do what's comfortable for you. Today, we're going to focus a little bit more on our back bodies. So let's start lying down. And we'll hang out here in constructive rest for just a second and just arrive. Give your body a chance to just settle in. Let your shoulder blades kind of melt into the mat. Let your shoulders drop back. Let that tension go across the front of the chest. And then just notice how you're breathing today. Notice if your breath is naturally coming up into your upper chest, especially if you've rushed to get here, or if you're breathing down more towards your belly, or maybe you feel your breath more in your side body or your back. Just notice that. And with each exhale, see if you can release a little more tension, allowing your body to arrive, allowing your breath to be natural. And just stay here for 3 or 4 more breaths. Noticing if maybe your breath changes. And then bring your breath down towards your belly. If you like to put your hands on your belly, you can. Just feel your belly rise and fall. And focusing on the breath there. And then bring your hands over to your side ribs and see if you can expand out with each breath. Just noticing that the rib cage also moves out. And then for 2 breaths, bring your attention to your back body. See if you can feel your breath in your back body. It's a little harder maybe. And then bring your hands to your upper chest. Take your breath there. Good. And then take 2 breaths. See if you can fill all of those spaces toward the belly, the sides, the back, and the top of the chest. Just finding that space in the rib cage. Good. Let that go. Bring your hands back to the mat. Take your feet out a little wide. Let your knees drop together. Go slow. We're just warming up. Notice how that feels. Maybe they don't go all the way together yet. Doesn't matter. We're just checking in. And if it feels okay, start to let your legs sway just a little bit side to side. Getting some movement in the lower body, those hip joints, the low back. And if it starts to feel kind of nice, maybe let those legs go a little bit farther. You could even bring your arms out to the sides if that feels good. Maybe feels a little more stable. Get some breath with this, something that feels natural. Starting to put movement together with breath. Good. And then come on back to center. Let's leave legs right where they are, parallel the knees. Bring your hands back. Let's take them out to the sides. So we're going to inhale up. And then let your arms fall open on the exhale. Inhale to close. Exhale to open. 2 more like that. Good. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Inhale, thumbs up overhead. They don't have to go to the floor, just as far as is comfortable. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Good. Inhale up. Let your hands rest as they come back to the floor. We're going to turn our attention to the pelvis. And what we're going to do is first find a neutral spine. Notice that you have a little space under your low back, probably a little space under your neck. We're going to play with that low back space by bringing the hips back toward the floor, tilting the pelvis backwards, pubic bone rises, and then release that just back to neutral. See if you can make that happen with your core muscles, as opposed to pushing with your legs. You could even take your fingers kind of up to that your abdomen, to that place just inside the hip bones, and feel what's working there. Good. And the next time you come back to center, stay right there. Fingers on the hip bones if that feels nice. Lift your right hip bone and then your left hip bone. Notice right away if your legs are getting in on the action. See if you can make that motion come from your core muscles. So we're just rocking the pelvis back and forth. If it was a bowl of water, it'd be sloshing that water side to side. Good. And then coming back to center. Sometimes we do these little, but we're going to make them big today if it feels good. Take your right hip bone up and then your pubic bone and then your left hip bone and then your belly button. So rolling that pelvis all the way around. If it was a bowl of water, yep, and the back is actually on the floor. It's more in contact when the pubic bone rises, and then it comes out of contact with the floor as we rock back around and the belly rises. Does that make sense? Looks good. And then take it the other way. Notice if you're picking your hips up off the floor, you can, but you don't need to. You'll get a little bit of a back massage going the other way now. Left hip bone, pubic bone, right hip bone, belly button. Just one more here. Yeah, let that go. Step your legs out long. Take your arms up overhead to the floor if that feels good. And just reach up. Be as tall as you can be. Long spine, long belly. On your exhale, pull your knees into your rib cage. Yeah, you could bring your head up off the floor just for one squeeze. Keep your hands, keep your legs right where they are. Bring your head back to the floor and start to circle your legs one direction. So now we're really rolling through the back, putting a little weight on that back. Hopefully bringing just a little release to the low back as we roll around. And then switch and go the other way. Good. And then either roll yourself up or come over to your side and come all the way up. And we'll go to all fours. So that nice cat-cow position. Spread your fingers wide, bring a little bend to your elbows. And then start to bring your body into a little cat and a little cow. Just kind of checking in with how that feels to your spine. And maybe add some breath to that. Maybe an exhale into cow, pulling the belly in. Inhale. Reverse that. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. Unless it feels better for you that first way, then just go with it. Notice what feels good to your body. Good. If it feels nice, add a little organic movement. Maybe one hip is a little tight. Maybe we spend a little more time over there. Maybe it feels good to stretch out through the wrists. And then come on back to center. Let's take our hands and walk over to the left. Look over to the left, maybe even back towards your feet. I don't know if this has a name. I call it Slinky Dog. I'm kind of just taking that nice side bend here. And then walk your hands over the other side, a little lateral flexion over to the right. Maybe have a look back at your toes. And then we'll come back to center. Take your left hand, float it up, and we're just going to slide it through on the floor. You can keep your hips high, or you can bring your hips down low if you feel ready for that. But just find a nice twist here through that upper back, noticing the space that it brings between the shoulder blades. And then we'll inhale that arm back up and bring it back down to the mat. Same thing, other side. Taking the right arm, snaking it through onto the floor. Maybe even coming all the way down to the head and the shoulder if that's available. And if it's not, stop where it's comfortable. Good. Inhale that arm all the way back up. Hands to the mat. Sit back into your first child's pose of the day. Maybe it's your first child's pose of the day, but something soft, something nice and comfortable for your body. If that means bringing your fists under your forehead, that can be nice. Might be nice to bring them back by your legs or just reach them out in front. And breathe here. Breathe into your back. Now you may be able to really feel that breath in the back, feeling the breath expand the rib cage. Good. And then on your next inhale, come on up, set up all fours, neutral spine. Take your left leg back behind you. Toes point down to the mat. Let's see if we can keep them there as we float that leg up just to hip height. Yeah. And then add your right arm. Just finding the balance here. Notice what muscles turn on to make this happen. You could hold this or you could move it a little bit. If you move it, let's bring elbow to knee and exhale in and inhale to expand. Let's keep them slow today. Really feeling this through the core muscles, holding us nice and stable. Good. One more. And hold this last one out. Just hold. Keep those toes pointing down. Fire up your leg a little bit. Reach your fingers out a little bit. Maybe spread your fingers wide. Bring a little fire to that right hand. And then bring your right hand to the floor. Step your left leg across your right. Have a look back at it. Little lateral flexion. And we'll bring it back to center. Beautiful. Right leg back, toes point down. Float it up just hip height. Add your left arm. Just check in with this. How does it feel? Good. And then we can move it a little bit. Exhaling in, inhaling to expand. And then two more. Good. Let's hold it. Fire it up. Turn the toes down. Fire up the muscles of your leg and your arm. Nice. Release your left hand to the mat. Your left hand to the mat. Step your right leg across and have a look back. And then release that. Let's come all the way down to the belly. We'll be here for just a little bit. Hands to the sides. We're going to come into baby cobra. Hardly any weight on our hands here. We're just lifting up a little bit. Think of putting the curve in your upper back as opposed to your lower back. And exhale down. Do that a few more times at your own pace. One more. Beautiful. Slide your arms out so they're reaching out, legs are back. Take your right arm to the sky, left leg to the sky. Just feel those muscles across the back. Stay here for maybe one more breath. Lovely. Drop it down. Same thing, other side. And drop that down. Bring your forehead to your hands and just pull your lower abdominal area a little bit in and a little bit up. Good. Let that go and bring your arms back out. You could do exactly what we just did, holding one side and then holding the other, or you could come up arms and legs off the floor and we'll do a little Pilates swim here. So your choice. If you're swimming, let's inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you're on one side, go ahead and switch to the other side. Inhale, exhale, and inhale and exhale. Nice. Bring those hands back. Let's come to all fours, nice and easy. Come up with a neutral spine. Come into a cat, but don't do it yet. Come into an invisible cat. No one can see it. We're just turning on those muscles that would take us to cat. Find yourself an invisible cow. Feel those muscles let go. What else would turn on? Find a little bigger cat. And a little bigger cow. And a little bigger cat. And a little bigger cow. And then just let it go. What feels good? Shake out those tight places. We just got back bendy. What needs to move? Yeah, and I'm seeing some wrist stretching going on. Great idea. We could take our fingertips back or out to the sides and get a little bit of release through those wrists. Notice that you are in control of how much pressure you put on them, right? It doesn't have to be intense. It could be one forward, one back. And then very gently and slowly make your way to downward dog. Go slow, walk into it. Nice, friendly dog. You're gonna let it walk a little bit. We're gonna let hips sway a little bit. Good. And then walk your hands to your feet. Find yourself a forward fold. Hands could be on thighs. Knees can be as bent as needed or as feels good. You could also grab your elbows. You could put your fingertips on the floor. Find your forward fold for today. And then let your knees bend a lot. Bring your hands to your thighs. Let's roll up real slow, one vertebrae at a time, all the way to the top. And take a second here to just notice. Yeah, maybe reach up. Maybe reach a little side to side. Just let all of that go. Come on back to center. Bring your hands heart center. We're going to work upper back just a little bit here. So we're standing just hands heart center in prayer. Open your arms. Bring a little bend to your back. Lift your heart. Find that space. And then exhale, let it go. Two more like that. We'll inhale, expand, Exhale, let it go. Inhale, expand. Exhale, let it go. Last one. Inhale, expand. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hips back. Bring yourself into chair. Yeah, hips go back more than knees go forward. So our knees are pretty close to being over our feet. Walk your feet a little bit of up and down here. Good. And then just hold. If you like a twisty chair, go ahead and take a left elbow over toward a right knee. Notice it doesn't have to go all the way, right? But it might. Good. Inhale yourself back to center, and we'll exhale over to the other side. Good. Inhale back to center, and let's just splash up. Bring your hands behind your back. Let's take feet a little bit farther apart. We're going to draw fingertips down. Yep. Lift the heart, and then gently fold forward. Notice how far feels good. Notice how it feels for your shoulders. And we'll inhale all the way back up. And just shake it out. Take a second to notice. All right. Because mats are all different directions, I'm just going to cue right and left. Now we're going to stay facing the direction that we're facing. So inhale all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Find that nice flat back. Exhale, let your back round and fold. Inhale all the way up. And sink it back to chair. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, and step your right foot back to a lunge. Yeah, take your time. We're going to come up into this full crescent lunge. A big inhale up. Good. Bring your arms forward. We're going to inhale out, squeeze through the back. Exhale together. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, side. Exhale, front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Frame your foot. Step yourself back to plank. Drop all the way down to your belly. Inhale, baby cobra, barely pushing with your hands. Exhale down. Inhale back to plank, however works for you. Nice. Exhale, downward dog. Float your right leg up, step it forward. Come all the way up to lunge on this side. Good. Bring your hands heart center, step your left foot forward. Same thing. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step back with your left foot. And we'll come all the way up to high lunge. Good. Bring your arms forward. We're going to inhale. Exhale, bring them forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, open. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift. Frame that foot. Step yourself back to plank. This time, drop halfway or all the way. We'll come to baby cobra or all the way up into up dog if you like. Exhale, down dog. Good. Step forward with your left foot. We'll come all the way up high lunge. Step your right foot forward and shake it out. All right. Come on down to the mat. we're going to come into a kneeling lunge. So if it feels good to you to roll your mat and prop your knee a little bit, you could do that. Let's take left foot forward. Yeah. And bring your arms forward. Beautiful. We're going to take right arm up and over and left hand to the sky. Yeah. Cartwheel back down, bring your right hand inside your foot. Take your left arm to the sky. And do that a couple more times at your own pace. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And inhaling up. Exhaling down. Hold this last one. Option to come to the toes in the back and find a little bit more space here. Good. And then we'll drop it down. Come to kneeling on both sides. Yep. And we're going to do exactly that same thing, except we're in a different position with our legs. So we're going to take right arm up and over, left hand to the sky. And then cartwheel just back to the front. 2 more. Inhale all the way up. And back to the front. And 1 more. Good. Come all the way down, hands to the mat. Let those feet go, shake them out. And step your right foot forward. Nice. Yep. Same thing on this side. Finding all that beautiful space through the upper body. Inhale up. Left hand comes up, or right hand to the sky. Exhale down into a twist. Nice. 2 more like that. Inhale up. Right hand reaches. Little cartwheel down. Nice. This time, we'll come into a full twist. If you like, you can come to your back toes and find that space. Good. Come on back down. And step back, kneeling on both sides. And we'll take left arm back, right hand to the sky. And reverse it. 2 more. Good. Let those feet go. And go ahead and sit yourself back to child's pose. If you like, you could take your knees wide. You could bring your hips a little closer to the mat. You could let your chest drop down a little closer. And breathe into your back space. Good. Let's slide forward on the mat. Come all the way forward. We're going to come into swan. If you are a person who does your swan dive rocking, feel free to do that. But otherwise, we're going to keep it pretty gentle and controlled. So we're going to bring the upper body up. Notice if you start to get into your low back, don't go there. Exhale, let your legs rise up. Yeah. So it's inhaling upper body, exhaling lower body, inhaling upper body. If you like, as you exhale, when you get to the bottom, you could reach your arms out to the sides or the front. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body. 2 more. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body. Inhale, upper body. Exhale, lower body. Stay here. Bring your arms back by your side. Full locust. Just hang out here. Notice if you can breathe in this shape. See if you can fill your rib cage front, side, and back. Good. One more breath here. Lovely. Let that go. Come back to all fours. Neutral spine. Breathe into all parts of your rib cage. 3 breaths. Good. And then start to move into cat-cow again. Let's shake it out. And if a little organic movement's calling to you, feel free to go there. All right. I'm going to turn over on our backs. Lots of options here. So do what feels good for you, especially for your wrists and your shoulders. Option 1 is to come up into a tabletop. Good. Go ahead and let that down. Shake out your wrists. Let it go. You could do that again, or you could come up into a full back plank. You could bring one leg in too. And we're just going to hold this 3 breaths. Good. Gently let your hips drop back to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together. Around your back. And just notice. Let's bring feet out in front. Heels to the mat. We're going to go slowly into this one. We're going to sit up really nice and tall and then drop ourselves back into a half roll down. Find that place that's a little bit hard to hold. Take a little brief pause here. Come all the way back up. Inhale, exhale, find that place again. Inhale, exhale, back up. Yeah, inhale, exhaling down. And bring it up. Just do 2 more like that, one full one. All the way back up. This one, we're going to take it down and hold in that place that's hard to hold. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, bring yourself with control back to the floor. And then reach out, fingers to toes. Be as tall as you can. Bring your hands back by your sides and bring your feet to the mat. Yeah, just a rolling bridge here. We're going to roll up 1 vertebrae at a time to the top and then exhale down. Really focus. Notice what your spine is doing. We're lifting tailbone, sacrum, low back, middle back, and putting them right back down. Let's do 2 more like that. Good. We're going to hold this last one up. Hands come to the mat. Hold your bridge. Take your right leg to the sky. Flex your ankle, drop it down just about knee height, and kick it back up. We're going to go 4 of these. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Go ahead and bring that leg down. Same thing other side. Left leg's coming up. It's going to drop and kick. Good. 1 more. Good. Let your knee bend. Put that foot down. Bring your hips all the way down. Let's add some arms to this movement. So as you roll your bridge, bring your arms up overhead. They don't have to go to the floor, but they could. Inhale at the top and exhale down. Good. So big inhale brings us all the way up. Arms reach. Exhale down. 1 more full one. Inhale, pressing with the feet. Inhale at the top. Good. This next time, leave those arms up. So as we reach up overhead, we're going to leave arms there. Let your hips drop back to the mat. Step your legs out long, one at a time. Nice. Move your legs over to the left. Stay on your back. So it's easy to start to turn on your left side. See if you can stay flat on your back. Bring your right arm over and your left arm over to the left. Yeah. So take your right leg. See what it would feel like to cross it over your left leg. If it's not good, put it right back. And then we'll gently come back to center. And do the same thing on the other side, moving legs over to the right, arms over to the right, possibly crossing left leg over right. It could be completely different on this side. Good. Come on back to center. Take your left knee into your chest. Give it a nice squeeze. Maybe circle the ankle a little bit or anything else that feels good here. Let's take left leg to the sky. Let's a little hamstring stretch while we're here. Take your left foot, put it on your right knee, and then with your right hand, draw that left leg across into a twist. Only go as far as feels good. And we'll come on back to center. Grab your right knee, let the left one go. Give it that nice squeeze, maybe circle your ankle. And then straighten that leg up to the sky. And drop that foot down toward the left knee. Left hand helps the right leg over into a twist. Beautiful. And we'll come on back to center. Bring both knees in now. And just like we did at the beginning, let your body circle around, let your legs circle around one direction. Feel your body kind of rock back and forth on the floor. And then switch and go the other way. If you're a person who likes Happy Baby, you could come into Happy Baby or just stay here squeezing tight into that ball. Feel the release in your low back. Happy Baby, sometimes it feels good to rock it a little side to side, or it can feel nice to bring your tailbone back toward the floor. Just depends. Nice. And then let all of that go. Find a place to relax. just for a couple minutes here. You could let your body be heavy in constructive rest or shavasana or legs up the wall, I see, or anything else that feels good. And then we're going to end today with just a really short guided gratitude meditation. So let your body be nice and heavy on the floor. Maybe check in with your breath. Let your belly be soft. Let your body be heavy. And then bring to mind something that you feel grateful for. It could be a person, an experience, a possession, a pet, an act of kindness, or anything else. Imagine that thing in as much detail as you can. Notice how gratitude for that thing or experience feels in your body. And just stay with that for a few breaths. And then gently start to bring a little movement back to your body. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes, or taking a couple deep breaths, or finding any needed stretch. I always find if I'm on my low back, it feels good to let knees bend and sway. And then as you're ready, gently turn on one side. Let yourself pause there for a breath. And then help yourself to sitting. Yeah, nice. In gratitude for this space, our sponsors, our technology, and each of you, thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.